Hello, my little friends. Hello, mothers, fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers. All children love fairy tales. And this is not a secret. Would you like me to open a real secret for you? All adults love fairy tales too, but they are just too shy to talk about it. Take your grandmother, for example. As soon as night falls and you're tucked in your bed, your grandmother sits next to you and with a soft, sweet voice starts telling you a fairy tale. Each time it's a new one. Imagine how many fairy tales she knows and remembers. Why do you think? Simply because she loves them very much. You see, nobody will try to remember things he doesn't like. Am I right? Your mother and your father, of course, don't know as many fairy tales by heart. And therefore, when they're putting you to bed, they read fairy tales from a book. Sometimes they don't notice that you have fallen asleep long time ago and keep reading the magic story to the end. I not only love reading fairy tales, but I also love to write them and to draw colored pictures. If I did not like to do so, there would be no reason for this book. As a matter of fact, fairy tales live everywhere. They are jumping in the grass, hiding under the bush, and sitting in the trees. They are swimming in the river and flying in the sky. They are living in houses and walking down streets. But it's not always easy to find them. The most difficult job is to notice a fairy tale and turn it into a book. Sometimes fairy tales come across as stubborn and leave scribbles on paper and even short lines. This happens very rarely. Usually, fairy tales make my acquaintance with pleasure and we become best friends. In Russia, on an old street in Novosibirsk, where they were breaking down a ramshackle house, I ran into the story about a little mouse. The story about a telephone pole called me on the phone and asked me to write it. The story about the old lady and her chocolate ran across my path in a Siberian forest and immediately became one of my favorite tales. The story about Wilik and Hrustik was barked to me by my neighbor's dog, and I translated it into human language. The rest of my fairy tales I discovered under very unusual circumstances. A few of them became part of this book, but there are many more to share with you, my little friends. If your parents and grandparents would be willing to help me publish this book, then you would be able to read these 5 fairy tales, sing a song, and enjoy seeing all pictures I have drawn. I promise. With love, Leonard, Manevich.